Well, I'll give you a little peek into this room, but we cannot get in here. I think since I've done the solo, there's been some kind of movement to bar free flow of action in this room. So you can't see from this video, but there's this beautiful rectangle or parallelogram of light that's projected on the floor. And there's this whole space back there that we can't quite see. These crazy ceilings that go up. It looks like a brewery, almost. I'll say that again, a brewery. And then around the corner, that's where I was, kind of hiding back there behind the corner. Did some stuff down here, waltzing all over the floor right here. But the rest of it, you're going to have to imagine. And then through that window, that's the window where I asked David, to stand at the last viewing. And I had him look out there, out that window down at the parking lot below, where I was dancing, but to imagine me on a rooftop. And I would love to be able to show that to you, but they won't let us in. I wanted to take you back to this room where I did the solo for David, but I walked into the sub room that gets you into the room, and there was a group that was rehearsing and they wouldn't let me in. And it was less about propriety and more about no one can go in the room. The room is off limits. The room is illegal. So to pretend I didn't really know that about the room, but I knew that about the room. The whole thing about the room is this massive, big, beautiful, open, warehousey space, very unfinished, really high ceilings, incredibly finished in some way. These beautiful windows that overlook this impeccable view of Lake Michigan and the Milwaukee skyscape in general. So it had to be there. I really wanted it to be there, even though it was a bit of a risk. And even the day of the show I was doing, the solo for David, there were some working guys there that were doing something or other, and they were in the back room there. And I thought, oh, God, I want so much to do something in this room, but I didn't want to have this guy kick me out in the middle of the solo or wonder what the hell I was doing or just get anybody in trouble. In the end, I knocked on the door, and they seemed to have left for the day, so I just... I took my chances, but it meant I had to set up this whole complicated setup in about 2 minutes, so it wasn't quite as in-depth visually as I had planned it. But I asked Daniel, my friend, if he would walk David up into this room and if they would talk about recipes, because that was one thing that David had mentioned. And I was hiding in a corner. The whole room is kind of L-shaped, and I was hiding in the small L version of the room where he couldn't see me, so he didn't know if I was there or not there. And he was given an envelope when he first walked in, and his first instructions were to take a look at the view. And then I asked number 2, hungry? And he could sit down at this table and pick either this bowl that had a very tiny little bit of gazpacho in it, or a bowl that had tons of gazpacho in it. It was like heaping, it was overflowing.